photography and videography is not a suggestion anymore. Investing in good photography and videography for your website is key to be distinctive. It's key to truly make someone spend a few more seconds on your site. And people can tell whether you use stock photography or real photography. And especially if you're selling product, then it's worthwhile to do proper product shots, because people like to dive deeper. And those are your best customers. Those customers that will spend the time on these pages to get excited about the science and about the product and what it stands for are the ones that are really going to help you gain the rest of your customers, going to build that word of mouth. You truly want to continue to invest in great photography. Once you have that, you can start doing really cool things like, what they've done right here. A big zoom forward. What we see here is a couple things. First of all, big photo. Very visual, very easy. You can see big font. Right there I know that it's a big zoom. So when you think about your product and a benefit, don't hide your benefits. Don't put all your benefits like all together, kind of like, scrambled together. Give them proper position so they are like each benefit is like its own star of the show. They're talking right now about a big zoom forward. Obviously, they're talking about the capabilities of their camera and they're using numbers. Some customers like to see numbers, some like to see words, some like to see big fonts. So they really have a little bit of everything here. It makes you want to stop a second and kind of like see, and numbers are very easy to process for us as humans. So that's a great way to communicate. As you continue to scroll down, again, look at all this interactivity. It lets you feel what it would be like to own that product. So if you can give that experience to your customers, what it's going to be like, and you can do it, by the way, in services too. But what does it feel like having the device in your hand? That is a tremendous advantage. People don't like to walk into a dark room. They don't like to face the unknown. So by giving tools on your webpage for people to be able to experience what it's like to work with you, what it's like to have your product in their hands, you eliminate that fear of not knowing how it's going to be. That's where you can really be creative and come up with those unique ideas on how can I do the same thing. And as long as you have the right team behind you to help you, you can probably do that. Also, for example, look at that beautiful shot. Again, focusing on the science. So the science behind something is also key. You can see it here is a little bit tech, but when it comes to maybe health products, you can focus about the ingredients. That's a very common thing, and kind of like each ingredient, you can even zoom into that by focusing on the vitamins and the minerals and the particles and the molecules. Like there's so many things you can do when it comes to scientific stuff. And again, while it's true, not every person going on your website may necessarily spend minutes or hours on just reviewing and reading everything. That's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to provide different elements for people so they can get excited. Once we can get them excited, then they'll stay a little longer. All we're trying to do is build a relationship with people. We talked about the dynamic product experience. So if you have a product or a service, we want to spend the time. So you want to kind of like think about it and be like, okay, what does this product do for my customers? Where does it meet them? What does my customer feel like after they experience that? What do they feel like while having it in their hands or going through the process? And you really want to start writing those ideas down. And especially with the help of AI today, you can come up with incredible ideas of things you can put together, both visually and content-wise on your site. Dynamic product experience, that is a key.